Hey there, everybody. We are here today to talk about birthdays. And I think we can all agree that if people are still celebrating your birthday 450 years after you were born, you must be pretty special indeed. So who's turning 450 this year? That's right, it's this guy. He looks pretty good for his age, doesn't he? Now, William Shakespeare has no shortage of fans, but those of us who teach and study the Bard know that many of our students still struggle to read and enjoy his work. And we want our students to enjoy Shakespeare, we really do, and that's why there have been so many attempts at making Shakespeare accessible throughout the years. The latest trend in making Shakespeare accessible is by using digital texts and new media. So today, I'm going to talk about a few of the ways that Shakespeare has gone digital and is coming to an iPad near you. But the real question is, can you actually use this to replace this in a college class? And I'd like to answer that question with a tentative yes. It's really all about what you're looking to get out of your Shakespeare text and how experienced a reader of Shakespeare you are. Now, there are more options out there than you might think, but many of them are geared towards younger readers in middle and high school. So I'm going to look at 3 different apps that I think are most appropriate for students studying Shakespeare at the college level. The first app I'd like to talk about is Shakespeare Pro, and you can get it for $9.99. This app has a lot of pros and cons. It offers you the text of all of Shakespeare's works, even some of the disputed ones, including plays and poems, and it does so for a fairly reasonable price. One of the nice things about this app is that it allows you to go back and forth between a modern spelling edition, like this, and the first folio edition of 1623. So if you want to see how Hamlet looked in the first folio in its original spelling, you can wait for it to load in just a minute. And then you can scroll through and read it and see just how Shakespeare looked before editors got their hands on it and made all of the words spelled the way that we're used to seeing them today. This app does offer some nice features. When you're in the modern text of the app, for example, you have the ability to look up some unfamiliar words. So if you don't know what it means to stand and unfold yourself, you can tap Unfold, and it will tell you that it means to identify, disclose, or reveal. You also have the ability to add notes and store them all in this little sidebar over here. So if you wanted to make a note here, you just hold it down, tap the Add Note button, type your note, and save it, and you're all good to go. One of the other nice features that the Shakespeare Pro app offers is a concordance. So if you're trying to find all the different times that Shakespeare used a specific word, either in one play or in all of his works, this app can help you out. This is a really useful feature for students who are writing papers. A Shakespeare concordance has been an amazing reference for quite some time, but having it in this convenient electronic form really does make it easy to find the terms that you're looking for. However, the app has one major drawback, and that's that this is not a scholarly edition of Shakespeare. The edition that it uses is in the public domain, and so if you're not someone who feels really comfortable with Shakespeare's unfamiliar language or his historical background, this might not be a good choice for you because it doesn't offer as much help as some of the texts and apps that have a little bit more information. The next app that I want to talk about is actually a group of 5 apps for 5 different plays produced by the Folger Shakespeare Library and Luminary Digital Media. When I heard the Folger Shakespeare Library was producing a series of apps, I was really excited. This semester, in my Theory and Practice of Pop Culture upper level seminar, I was teaching Romeo and Juliet, so this seemed like the perfect opportunity to give one of these apps a try. So let's talk about the pluses of this app. First of all, it does have a great text. This is the same text that you would get if you bought the Folger Shakespeare paperback edition, which tend to sell for about $6. So there's the same great edition. It does offer you plenty of notes and glosses, and you can look at them over here. So if you're not sure exactly what a word means, you have all of the Folger's help for that. You have the ability to take your own notes and add them into a sidebar here, and you have the ability to share those notes with other people in your classes. This app offers some helpful commentary, everything from the editor's comments to different scholars offering their thoughts on the play. The best feature of this app, in my opinion, is the fact that it offers a full audio recording of the play done by actors from the Folger Shakespeare Company. As you listen to the recording, the app will highlight each line so that you can follow along as you listen.
I strike quickly, being moved.
But thou art not quickly moved to strike.
The dog in the house of Montague moves me.
To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou runnest away.
One of the great things about this is that even when you jump to a totally different section of the play, the audio recording will pick right back up with wherever you are.
Many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning's dew.
In addition to the play, the app also offers some additional resources that can be very useful to students who aren't accustomed to studying Shakespeare. There's things about Shakespeare's life, and this is Shakespeare's theater, and these are presented in the form of slideshows. They're basically like a PowerPoint slideshow that has both text and images, including some truly spectacular images from the collection of the Folger and other Shakespeare collections around the world. However, there's one area of this resource section that I would really like to see the Folger do more with, and that's this video tab right here. They have exactly one video, as you see, and it's not really a video about Shakespeare or about the play that you're studying. It's a video that's just about how a printing press worked in early modern England. And while that's interesting, it does seem like the Folger could have offered more in the way of videos, even if it was just simply a secret code to find special content online. The other real challenge with this app is that, frankly, it's pretty tough to navigate. How do you get back to the main screen? Well, if you remember that it looks like this little honeycomb thing, then this would make sense to tap that honeycomb button. But if you didn't remember that, it might be a little bit of a challenge to remember how you get back to the main screen. Any place you're in, you have to remember that that's what you need to tap. A simple back button honestly would have been better from my perspective. Also, when it comes to navigating the screen and the main text, there are things that could work a little better. For example, you're not able to just highlight a single word. If you want to highlight a word, when you tap a word and click highlight, you get a whole line. And maybe I didn't want to highlight that line. Maybe I wanted to highlight just uses of the word sun. That would have been useful. The other thing is, as you're looking at the notes and glosses, they don't exactly match up to where you are. If you don't understand how a word works over here, you can't tap on portentous and see if it gets you anywhere. You can tap on a word over here, and it will take you to the word in the text, but since most of us need the help in the text, it would be nice to be able to tap on something here and have it highlighted over in the sidebar, rather than the other way around. Ultimately, I have to admit I was hoping for a little more from this app. The Folger Shakespeare Library is an amazing, amazing place to research. They do so many wonderful things for students, and I think this app could do more. However, I will applaud the Folger for addressing the biggest obstacle to recommending this app, which was the price. When I purchased this app, it was $11.99, and in my opinion, you don't get $12 of content out of this app. However, when I went to the App Store this week, I noticed that they're now selling for $2.99. I think that is a really good price for what you get here. If you are reading one of the 5 plays that they have available, you might want to think about picking it up. For $3, it's definitely worth the money. The last of the 3 apps I'd like to discuss is the Shakespeare Sonnets app, which was released by TouchPress and costs $13.99 through the App Store. I don't think I can state in strong enough terms exactly how awesome I think this app is. First of all, it uses a really excellent text. It uses the Arden Shakespeare edition of the text, so that's something I really trust for my students to use. There's plenty of helpful notes and commentaries that you can access by simply touching this button, so you get the notes from the Arden editors. You also get commentaries from scholars that are easy to access, and you have the ability to make your own notes on each sonnet as you scroll through. You can also switch easily between the text of the sonnets and the 1609 quarto facsimile that allows you to see how the sonnets looked when they were first published. Navigating in this app is super easy. It's very simple to get from the facsimile back to the text edition. If you want to go between one sonnet and the next, all you have to do is swipe down or up and you're in the next sonnet. If you want to get back to the home screen and access any of the other content, there's a very clearly marked home button. In addition to all the great text and note-taking features, the best thing about this app absolutely are the performances. You can get a performance of each and every sonnet, all 154 of them. The sonnets are performed by a wide range of talented folks, including Stephen Fry, Patrick Stewart, and Fiona Shaw. Listening to the performance you want is as simple as tapping on the actor and then tapping on the sonnet that you want to listen to.
Unthrifty loveliness, why dost thou spend upon thyself thy beauty's legacy? Nature's bequest gives nothing, but doth lend.
And if you want to see the sonnet at the same time that you're listening to it, all you have to do is move your iPad into portrait mode, and then you can listen and read at the same time.
Beauteous niggard, why dost thou abuse the bounteous largesse given thee to give?
In addition to the performances, the app also offers this fantastic perspectives section. These are both text and video-based interpretations that help us to understand the sonnets better, and they come from a wide variety of scholars, performers, and other folks. They're informative for scholars and undergraduates, they're accessible for pretty much anyone, and the video form plus the text really does help you to follow along and get the most out of what the app has to offer. Honestly, I really struggled to come up with anything negative to say about this app. If anything, I would say the price, $13.99, seems a little high for most users buying an app in the App Store. But if you think about the fact that the text on which this is based, the Arden Sonnets, retails for about $17 in paperback form, and it doesn't offer you this handy facsimile edition, it doesn't offer you these great videos, it seems to me that $13.99 is a small price to pay, and you're really getting an excellent edition of the sonnets and all the kind of multimedia content that you can get from a really excellent app. Have you used any of these apps in a college class, either as a teacher or as a student? If you have, I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments section under the video or by sending me an email or contacting me via my website. Thanks so much for watching, but now get on out there and celebrate Shakespeare's birthday.